But we also go to Charlie's school. We get a little bit of his school life. That's where we learn about the Wonka bar promotion. And before we get to that, though, I want to discuss this teacher. Kyle, you're an educator. What do you think of this teacher here? Because I got a lot of thoughts on him.
Yeah, no, he's the worst, dude. He's the worst. He's also creepy.
Yeah.
Very English too.
Yeah.
I'll just say that. Very English. But yeah, just he's the worst, man. He's the worst. Yeah. I even have written down, this teacher sucks so much as a no.
I'm going to go through some of his lessons. I mean, first of all, he mentions, he's switching the Friday and the Monday schedule. The test on Friday is now going to be on Monday before we learn the material. But that doesn't matter since today is Tuesday. It's like, okay, very funny. But also your plan doesn't make sense. Your lesson plan needs some work. But then we get a science and a math lesson. The science lesson, I don't even know what we're doing here. I have a special mixture of my own. It only works in my combination. You're going to tell us what it is? Like, you're teaching us anything that's like, just pour these bottles. He brings up remover. Charlie. It's a wart remover, but also why? Why are you making that? Yeah. And then it's like, bring up Charlie. He's pouring all these weird chemicals, a special mixture of his own. No safety gear, and then just boom. It's an explosion.
Well, the percentages one just had me dying laughing because it's like you're literally just saying numbers at these kids and writing 100 on the board. He's like, this isn't teaching them jack, man.
And he can't even do basic math because the issue with the percentages is he's like, okay, how many candy bars did you buy? 100. Well, if you do 100 out of 1,000, that's 10%. Oh, you got 150 candy bars? That's 15%. Charlie, how many did you get? 2. Just 2? I can't figure out just 2. You can't? You're a teacher. Like, it's basic math.
Yeah, man.
0.2%, teach. There you go. Yeah, they were hounding him. Like, he lucked out. He ran home, and he surprises his family. They all thought he's pulling their leg, but they're not. And we get this moment from Grandpa Joe, and I think this is a huge moment for the film. We can finally see Grandpa Joe's true colors here. In the film, he says, as soon as I get my strength back, I'll be back to work. I'll be helping. I'll be working again. Well, that day is come and gone. He hasn't done anything. But then an opportunity comes up. He hasn't moved in 20 years, and he finds out, hey, I can go to a chocolate factory tomorrow. I'm out of bed. Giant musical number. I got a golden ticket. And it's like, no, you don't. Charlie does. But no, it's him. He has it now. He's jumping for joy.
Yeah.
This moment, John, this moment with Grandpa Joe, rant.
He's a terrible person. For 20-something years, letting his daughter or potentially worse, daughter-in-law slave away, forcing everybody to eat cabbage dregs, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, hey, a chocolate factory. Well, shoot, I can run and jump and skip and spin around, and I don't even need this cane. Like, how? Why?
I don't even.
Wow.
I don't even need this cane.
He doesn't bring it to the factory, as far as I could tell. He uses it for 2 minutes and then he throws it away after his dance number.
I broke my ankle 2 years ago, and I'm a pretty young, fit guy, and for weeks and months after, my leg, it took a long time to get the strength back. I had to go to physical therapy. This guy hasn't gotten out of bed in 20 years, and meanwhile, he can do jumps and flips and break dance. Like, this is insane. Like, insane.
He's a fraud, is what you're saying.
He's a fraud. And it's like, meanwhile, like, Grandpa Joe has no problem taking Charlie's money, for tobacco. He has an addiction. Meanwhile, Charlie should have taken his mom on this. She's putting cabbage water on the table every night, suffering, taking care of these 4 people. Her husband is dead. He's taking care of her in-law. I mean, it's just insane that Charlie just takes Grandpa Joe.
There was a line Grandpa Joe had about when a loaf of bread looks like a feast, something. But then he still takes the money from Charlie and he spends it on chocolate. Like, I don't know. The whole thing, Grandpa Joe just does not sit well for me. I don't know.
Grandpa Joe, he's a fraud. He's the worst.
He's the worst.